The ultimate conclusion to The Boys is fast approaching. After experiencing one of the most heart-wrenching scenes in the entire series, the tension is at an all-time high, as we prepare to close the book on this saga permanently. Homelander is once again terrified. Our main crew is grieving the devastating loss of a beloved team member. Soldier Boy has been thrown back into the freezer. As for Ryan, well, his whereabouts are completely unknown. With just a single chapter remaining, I am eager to break down my personal forecasts and speculations regarding the fates of our primary cast in the grand finale. Let's dive right in. Welcome to my breakdown of The Boys Season 5, Episode 8 Theories. A quick heads up, massive spoilers lie ahead. The tragic demise of Frenchie will undoubtedly dominate the team's headspace, injecting a profound layer of personal grief into their mission to assassinate Homelander. This is no longer exclusively about Butcher seeking vengeance for Becca's tragedy, nor is it purely a fight against superhero dominance. It has evolved into a quest for justice for a fallen brother. Now that Kimiko has successfully absorbed radiation, equivalent to a nuclear blast, she possesses the same power-stripping abilities as Soldier Boy. This perfectly positions her as the crew's secret weapon to blast Homelander and eradicate the compound V running through his veins. We already know this tactic is effective against the V serum, as demonstrated during Soldier Boy's clash with Homelander earlier in the story. I strongly suspect the final confrontation will go down in the Oval Office. Homelander has seemingly claimed that seat of power, rather than staying confined to Vought Tower. Driven by his massive god complex, it makes total sense that he would occupy the office designed for the most influential leader on the planet. With the president out of the picture, he can essentially claim that throne whenever he pleases. This setup points toward an ending, highly reminiscent of the original comic books, where Homelander meets his doom right inside the White House. However, because the television adaptation has taken massive creative liberties, specifically omitting the twist where Black Noir is a Homelander clone, created as a contingency plan, I anticipate the crew will infiltrate the Capitol, aiming to use Kimiko as their lethal trump card. Even though Homelander scoffed at the idea of the team replicating Soldier Boy's radioactive blasts, a lingering seed of doubt will likely prompt him to establish heavy defensive measures. He won't make it easy for them to just stroll in. Under normal circumstances, he might have enlisted Soldier Boy's help, but since he just locked his father back in a cryogenic tube, that option is off the table. Homelander is fully aware Soldier Boy would instantly betray him. However, I have a strong suspicion that someone is going to uncover Soldier Boy's frozen location. It might be Ashley, who recently looked absolutely terrified while contemplating her own survival. Realizing she's inevitably on the chopping block, she might thaw him out as a desperate Hail Mary to eliminate Homelander. Alternatively, the Deep could be the one to pull the plug. Feeling alienated and desperate for freedom from Homelander's psychological abuse, releasing a weapon of mass destruction might seem like a logical move. Leaving Soldier Boy on ice in the second-to-last episode feels far too anticlimactic for his character's ultimate resolution. The burning question, however, is whether Kimiko's newly acquired radioactive burst will be as effective against Homelander as Soldier Boy's was. While it theoretically should work, my gut tells me a devastating twist is looming. Kimiko is currently fueled by intense sorrow and rage over Frenchie's fate, and she has zero experience wielding this specific ability. Knowing the brutal nature of The Boys, we are likely in for an absolute massacre. The writers could shockingly kill her off before she even unleashes the blast, or she might fire it, only to realize its potency is significantly weaker than anticipated. This exact moment of failure is where a newly liberated Soldier Boy could crash the party, stepping in to assist the team. A few episodes back, he bluntly told Homelander that he didn't deserve eternal life. Now, he has the perfect opportunity to make good on that promise and neutralize his son's abilities. This scenario sets the stage for a spectacular Season 3 style free-for-all, right inside the Oval Office, featuring Soldier Boy and the crew, collectively jumping Homelander to finish the job once and for all. Assuming Soldier Boy manages to fry the compound versus out of Homelander's system, the perfect climax would leave only Butcher and a depowered Homelander standing, with the rest of the combatants either incapacitated or knocked unconscious. Butcher would finally get to look down upon a frail, terrified Homelander, a man experiencing genuine physical vulnerability and fear for the very first time. Adding Ryan to the mix would amplify the drama exponentially. Imagine Homelander pleading for his son's mercy after violently abusing him in episode 3. Butcher would absolutely savor that pathetic display before delivering his judgment. In the graphic novels, Homelander is brutally ripped to shreds by his Black Noir clone, and an injured Butcher finishes off the clone with a crowbar, wiping out the Homelander threat entirely. The show could mirror this by giving us a heavily battered Butcher staring down a broken, pitiful Homelander, mirroring the exact insults Butcher hurled at him from the soup containment cell earlier this season. We would witness a villain who is utterly despised, isolated, and stripped of his godhood. While Butcher could effortlessly execute him, his deep-seated hatred demands something far more excruciating. I theorize Butcher won't just kill him quickly, he will ensure Homelander endures a fraction of the immense suffering he inflicted on the world. Leaving him powerless, trapped in a fragile human body, and utterly alone, would be the ultimate poetic justice for Becca's death. Simultaneously, Homelander's public image is bound to collapse completely. As the bizarre revelations regarding the Democratic Church of America and his forced God worship hit the media, chaos will erupt. Following his menacing speech at the end of episode 7, he will likely try to execute anyone who refuses to bow down to him. However, this tyrannical, dictatorial behavior will alienate his core base. His most loyal supporters won't accept this apocalyptic shift. While taking him out would be a monumental television event, a small part of me wonders if the creators might flip the script entirely and let the franchise's most iconic antagonist survive the ordeal, just to subvert expectations. As for Billy Butcher's ultimate fate, he has essentially been on a suicide mission for years, driven entirely by his inability to save the love of his life. His sole anchor to the mortal realm is his vendetta against Homelander. Once that objective is complete, a massive curveball could be thrown. Butcher might unleash the anti-soup virus, choosing to eradicate himself, along with the rest of the enhanced population. He has repeatedly stated that the planet is better off without superheroes, and releasing the plague would fulfill his core ideology. Thanks to Sister Sage's knowledge of stabilizing compound verses, perhaps a small group, like Ryan, Sage, Starlight, and Kimiko, might possess an immunity, surviving the purge. Leaving only a handful of soups alive, while wiping out the corrupt masses, would serve as a beautifully bleak and fitting conclusion to Butcher's lifelong crusade. Shifting focus to the deep, we are looking at a character utterly devoid of redemption. Once the horrific footage leaks of him abandoning a drowning victim, his reputation will be destroyed forever. He will be a pariah, both on land and in the water. Seeking refuge in the ocean might ironically lead to his demise at the hands of the aquatic life he claims to fiercely protect. Alternatively, Starlight delivering the fatal strike would be a brilliant narrative full circle. It would be incredibly poetic for a panicking, out of his depth deep, to be eliminated by Annie, the very woman he sexually assaulted and manipulated back in season 1, when she was the vulnerable newcomer. This would grant Starlight the closure she deserves, and serve as the perfect exit for an irredeemable predator who doesn't deserve a happy ending. It has been officially confirmed that this grand finale will have a runtime of 1 hour and 5 minutes. While it may not be feature-length, like some fans anticipated, it provides more than enough screen time to deliver an explosive, jaw-dropping conclusion. These are strictly my current speculations and reads on the narrative. If you have your own predictions on how the finale will play out, be sure to drop your thoughts in the comment section below. We are mere days away from the premiere, and the anticipation to see how this incredible saga concludes is absolutely off the charts. Thank you for tuning into this comprehensive breakdown of The Boys Season 5. Episode 8 Theories.